What is going on, guys? Hope you guys are doing well. Back on Battlefield today, playing some Breakthrough on Hamada. Want to share with you guys some clips I had using the Gewehr 1-5, a weapon that I haven't been back to really since I unlocked it at level 20 for the Assault class. And I keep coming back to this weapon. I tell you what, I feel like this weapon is really undervalued on the battlefield. At least it feels like that. I don't know. I don't see a lot of people really getting too hyped about it. I think mainly people like using the M1A1 carbine, or the new Rubioles is a pretty big one. Even things like the Turner SMLE. And even though I think there are a lot of weapons for the Assault class that are really solid, and I think trying to rank them from best to worst will probably be a nightmare, I still think the Gewehr 1-5 is still pretty solid in my opinion. And I think where it kind of falls at, and why I think a lot of people undervalue it a bit, is because it's not really good at anything. In a sense, it's kind of the all-purpose weapon when you kind of look at the stats. For the semi-automatic rifles, it's not the best for accuracy. You know, it's not the best for control. You know, it's not the best for damage. But it does have the best ammo capacity. That's what makes it really solid. And I think the only thing that rivals it is the M1A1 carbine, and that's if you get the specialization that allows you to have more ammo capacity. But besides that, it's just kind of, you know, okay at everything, but not the best and not the worst. It's just kind of somewhere in between. And for me, that kind of works well, being that type of all-purpose weapon. I don't know, I just seem to keep going back to this weapon and really enjoying it. I haven't ranked up completely all my Assault class weapons. I'm at like barely almost there at level 10 for the Self-Slaughter 1916, and same with the Storm Gewehr 1-5, the first weapon you use that's already unlocked for you for the Assault class. So I'm almost there to get level 10 on those, but even after, you know, playing those to level 10, I'm not so much gonna necessarily change my mind out on which weapons I'm preferring the most. Even though, again, I think the Assault class has a pretty big arsenal compared to the other classes out there of weapons that you can choose from, really, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of them out there that are pretty solid. And yeah, definitely, if you haven't had a chance yet to try out the Gewehr 1-5 that you unlock at level 20, I would definitely recommend it. I still think it's a little, again, undervalued on the battlefield, but you know, that's just how it is, kind of it. I guess some people might just prefer having more of a specialist type of weapon that does really good at one specific thing or another, but for me, kind of having that all-purpose type of balance to the game is kind of really nice, and that's kind of the way I like to be playing right now, especially with my Assault class weapons, where I get kind of torn between if I want to extend my range or if I want to be, you know, playing some close quarter combat battles. And this gun is kind of forces you to play really in the middle, because if you do try to extend the range on it, you're gonna be in a little bit of trouble. You find yourself just like shooting the enemy player just a little bit too much, and it's not only just bad that it just drains your ammo, but when you're shooting on the battlefield and really having to rely on hearing, since it's sometimes really hard to see players, you can just give yourself away just by shooting over and over and over again, right? And you got a player who's right next to you, like listening in, figuring out that I better start using my sound and try to gauge where those shots are coming from, and they're gonna end up finding you because you're just unloading your whole, you know, all of your clips into this one guy that's just a little bit too far away. So sometimes I try to avoid those as best as I can. You'll see a scenario coming up here in a little bit where I'm trying to shoot some guy and I'm not able to finish him off. He doesn't kill me, but it's just, you know, putting a lot of damage on him and just letting him know where I'm at. And so that doesn't really help. This is a pretty good range right here. This is kind of where I like battling enemy players. About this range. Not really anywhere further. And I don't really like get too close to enemy players, but if I have to pop in there really quick and try to take out a couple players, I feel a little bit better than other semi-automatic rifles in doing that. But still probably not your choice. You probably want to go over to the automatic rifle section with like the STGs and those type of weapons there. I think it would suit you a little bit better. But like I was saying, it's not all too bad. It would be interesting to play with the specializations a little bit and try out more of the hip firing for this gun. But again, it's not intended to do something like that. As you can see there, though, just a second ago, I was trying to shoot that guy from further range. I wasn't able to finish him off, and that's what I was kind of talking about. Luckily, he doesn't like. I'm not sure if that was him or not. I think there's another guy right there, but yeah, it's just the worst when you're shooting someone from far away and then you lose sight of them because they get behind cover and then they know kind of where you're at, and then they peek their head out again and you're reloading and they shoot you, and that's what I hate the most. So you'll see a situation right here where there are going to be more players a little bit further away behind me to my right. They're trying to cap B, and the guy's like spawning his squad onto him, which was a good play on his part. And they're trying to snipe me over here. And the moment I turn around, I'm like, what is going on here? I see the glint in the scope. Like, yeah, there they are. But that's that range right there. And I think this is where people like don't want to use this gun, is they'll get in scenarios like this and they're like, oh, the gun sucks. Yeah, it's not going to do that great over here. You'd rather be using the Gewehr 43 or even like the Subslaughter 1916. Even though I think that's my least favorite out of all the rifles right now, mainly just because of how it has such a slow rate of fire. And yeah, it's not really fun, especially if you try to get close in combat against enemy players, which again, you shouldn't be doing with that gun. But again, I seem to find myself in those scenarios a little bit too often. But we're gonna have a really good engagement coming up here in a second. With pretty sick actually. I'm able to take out a couple players just using this gun and just doing what I want to be doing with this weapon, which is playing and getting those mid-range battles and being able to control it and just doing damage on the team when you need to get it done. If I'm gonna get finished off right here from behind or something like that, yeah, I'm gonna get killed. But it's gonna be right here. I'm gonna sneak up behind a couple players and I'm gonna be able to take them out. And then there'll be more players that are obviously trying to cap A right now. But once I'm able to finish these guys off, I gotta jump down here really quick. I wasn't sure if they were gonna be to my right or my left, so I was like, I'm gonna guess. Luckily, they weren't looking at me, so I was able to come up from behind and finish them off. Then I'm gonna come up over here and just pick off 3 guys. This is pretty sick right here. I was pretty happy about this. 1 headshot. I was like, I can't. I could see someone moving. I can't see where. And then this guy almost gets me. I kind of fake him out. He's gonna throw some dynamite, and I'm gonna catch him right there. So that was pretty sick. Pretty cool stuff. We got some pretty cool stuff coming up for this month. So we got our 2nd chapter coming out. I think was the 16th of January. A little bit later, unfortunately. Hopefully Battlefield and EA Dice can kind of pick it up here. Just on like everything from everywhere from bugs to bringing out content. I think they've been doing a pretty good job with weapons, but I have to say I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't bring out 2 maps already. I feel like they should have brought out Panzerstorm and another map, so we would have had, you know, that kind of back-to-back theme that they do with all the other maps, like Fjell 652 and Narvik and Rotterdam and Devastation and things of that nature. So we could be playing that on, you know, game modes like Breakthrough and things like that. So that's a little bit disappointing. And of course we got the bug issues. So if they can bring up both of those, I think, you know, we can get back to a pretty solid game in my opinion. I think this is a really fun game, so I'm still enjoying the Battlefield franchise. Still love that 64 player chaos sets there, but it would just be nice if they could just get things going. So really expecting them to really bring it through this month, because man, we're getting really close to our big battle royale for Battlefield 5. And I'll tell you what, if I think the big thing is for the battle royale games, that is just want a game that works, that first person shooter, classic, you know, 100 people in on the battlefield, and there's nothing crazy. Just make it simple, just make it work. So that's at least what I want. Feel free to let me know what you guys think down in the comments below about the Gewehr 1-5 or anything really. I'm always down to talk to you guys. But again, that is it for you guys today. Always appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin'. I'll catch you guys again later.